The national average interest rate on a savings account right now is 0.38%. That means if you have $10,000 sitting in a standard savings account, your bank is paying you $38 a year. 38. And some of those same banks are advertising high-yield accounts paying over 5%. I wanted to know if that was real, so I put $10,000 into 5 different accounts on the same day and tracked every single dollar for a year. The difference between the best account and the worst was $462. Same $10,000. Different bank. Which account was actually the worst? You are going to be surprised. It is one of the most recommended ones. Here is what most people do not realize about high-yield savings accounts. The rate that gets advertised on every comparison site, the big number at the top, is not always the rate you actually earn. There are 3 ways a bank can make that number look bigger than it is. Introductory rates that drop after 90 days, tiered rates that only apply to the first few $1,000s, and qualifying conditions, things like setting up a direct deposit or making a minimum number of transactions each month. I learned all 3 of these the hard way. Here are the 5 accounts I tested. I am not going to say which one I ended up recommending until I walk you through what actually happened, because the order might surprise you. Account 1, a big bank with a high yield tier. The advertised rate was 4.10%. Account 2, an online bank most people have heard of, advertising 4.20%. Account 3, a newer fintech bank advertising 5.0%, the highest rate I could find anywhere. Account 4, a mid-size online bank at 3.65%. Nothing flashy. Account 5, the account I had already been using for 2 years, which I thought was fine. Account 5 is the one that made me genuinely angry when I saw the annual math. I will show you exactly why. After month 1, my projected annual earnings looked exactly like the websites promised. But month 2 is when things started getting interesting. Month 2 just hit. Let me show you what I found. Account 3, the 5.0% account, dropped to 250% in month 2. Not because I did anything wrong. The 5.0% rate only applied to the first $5,000. Everything above that earned $250. I had put in $10,000, so for half my balance, I was earning half the advertised rate. On $10,000, that took my projected annual earnings from $500 down to $375. Not terrible, but not what the website showed me. Meanwhile, account 4, the boring 3.65% account I almost skipped, had no tiers, no qualifying conditions, and no introductory rate. It just paid 3.65% on the full balance, every single month. At the end of 12 months, account 4 had earned me $365. Account 3, the one I was most excited about, earned $375, a $10 difference. For all that complexity. Here is what did not work. I spent 3 weeks researching the highest advertised rate I could find. I moved $10,000 to that account. I felt like I had done everything right. And the result was a $10 difference versus the boring account nobody talks about. But account 5, the one I had been using for 2 years without questioning, that one genuinely made me angry. Account 5 is the account most people default to because it comes bundled with their checking account. It advertised a 0.50% high yield rate when I opened it. I assumed it was still competitive. I had not checked in 18 months. At the end of 12 months, account 5 earned me $50. 50 on $10,000. The best account in my test earned $512. Account 5 earned $50. Same $10,000, a $462 gap. And I had been in account 5 for 2 years before I checked. So what actually won? The account that earned the most across the full 12 months was not the 5% advertised account. It was account 2, an online bank at 4.20%, no tiers, no qualifying conditions, applied to the full balance. 12 months, full rate, $512 earned. The account I said would surprise you. Here it is. Account 2, 4.2%. No conditions, no tiers. Just the rate, on everything, all year. Here is the framework I now use before opening any high-yield savings account. Step 1. Find the effective rate, not the advertised rate. Ask, does this rate apply to my full balance? Is it an introductory rate? Does it require a qualifying action each month? Step 2. Ignore anything that requires a minimum transaction count. That is behavioral friction designed to catch the days you forget. Step 3. Check the rate history. Most banks publish their rate history on their website. If the rate has dropped more than once in the last 12 months, that is a pattern, not a market adjustment. After this experiment, I moved my full emergency fund to account 2. I also moved the money I'd been parking in account 5 for 2 years. The $462 gap I found. That is money I was leaving on the table every single year without realizing it. One more thing. A lot of people ask me whether they should keep their emergency fund in a savings account at all, or whether there is a smarter place to park short-term money that you might need quickly. That is a different math problem, and the answer changes depending on how much you have saved. I am going to run those numbers next week. Subscribe to see what happens. If you have money sitting in a savings account right now, any savings account, the most useful thing you can do today is check the effective annual rate. Not the advertised rate, the effective rate. It takes about 90 seconds on your bank's website. The number you find might change where you keep your money.